South Africa is a country that is so incredibly diverse in so many different ways, from its 11 different official languages and countless different cultures, to the vastness of its land features that cannot be found altogether anywhere else in the world. South Africa is certainly a nation built on a foundation of diversity. South Africa is full of vast culture, expansive history, distinct landmarks, and diverse nature. After conducting thorough research on this country through many credible sources, I can say with confidence that I am more than qualified to tell you all about it. Now, though I may have never visited the country myself, I've always found it of great intrigue and hope to one day experience it firsthand. So, you all may be asking yourselves, why should I care so much about South Africa? What does a nation all the way on the other side of the world have to do with me? Well, since South Africa has such an incredibly diverse array of different religious, ethnic, cultural, and linguistic backgrounds, it will be of large interest to a great number of people. In this speech, I will detail many facts and observations about the country as a whole, and I hope that each of you can find something that you find fascinating about this unique country. Let's get into it. First, I would like to discuss South Africa's incredibly wide array of diverse cultures, peoples, religions, and languages. South Africa is one of the most ethnically diverse nations that this world has to offer. For starters, there are many native tribes that reside within its borders, the four major ones being the Nyangi, Sotho, Shangaan, Songa, and Venda. Of these four major groups, there are several subgroups of smaller tribes, and many that aren't related to these ones at all, according to an article by South Africa History Online. Now, besides the many numbers of native tribes that reside within South Africa's borders, there are also many people of European background and descent. This group of people makes up around roughly 9% of the population, and this population resides mostly within more urban and densely populated areas of the country, whereas the tribes reside in more rural areas overall. There are many influences that these different cultures have on the government industries and relations of the country as a whole. For example, though South Africa is officially a democratically governed nation, there is a province of the country known as the KwaZulu-Natal where a monarch holds power, and this is especially laid out and provided for in the nation's constitution. Though all of these different peoples and cultures can live in relative harmony now, this wasn't always the case, as you will see when we review the history of South Africa. South Africa has such a rich and expansive history that dates back thousands of years. South Africa and the continent of Africa as a whole have recently been proven to be the modern birthplace of the modern human species. As a matter of fact, the earliest remains of a modern human were found in South Africa, and these remains seem to date to be over 160,000 years of age. Now, though I don't have time to detail everything that happened in Africa's thousands of years of history, I would like to give an overview. South Africa was primarily inhabited by nomadic tribes up until the 1600s, where European influence first arrived in the year 1652. In this year, the Dutch East India Company opened a resupply station at the nation's southern tip, according to information on an article by Nations Online. From there, the country began its long history in racial conflict. By the early 1800s, the British had started its process of colonizing the nation, disregarding the ways and traditions of local tribes and enslaving its members. After its days of British imperialism, South Africa went through a period of extreme nationalism that ultimately led to the Apartheid. After the ending of this dark period in the country's history, we see the Freedom Charter emerge and eventually get to the relative calm that the nation and its members lives in politically and racially today. After discussing how the people of South Africa have shaped what it is today, I would now like to touch on some of the more natural aspects of the country and the impact that they have had on it. South Africa has a variety of natural landmarks as well as an incredibly diverse population of wildlife. According to an article by the South African government, the country contains 8 different biomes within its borders, those being grasslands, savannas, the succulent karoo, the Namakaroo, forest, fynbos, deserts, and thickets. Besides these diverse natural features that are found within the country, we can also see that it contains quite a diverse array of wildlife. The country contains 300 mammal species, 860 bird species, and over 8,000 plant species, according to the national government's website. This country has such a diverse array of life and contains so many animals not found anywhere else in the world. South Africa is proud of its numerous landscapes, plant, and animal species as well, as it has over 300 conservation parks and protected areas dedicated to supporting and preserving all of this natural phenomena. With all of this being said, allow me to review this information. All in all, South Africa, like so many other countries in the world, has its high points and its flaws, its proudest aspects, and those that it may wish to push to the back burner. But overall, it is a country full of so much rich information to one to learn about. From a broadened view on the country's culture, a deeper look into its history, and insight into its more natural features, I hope that everyone leaves here today learning something new about this incredibly unique nation, South Africa. No, 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 no.